The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Hello and welcome to another Video Games to the Max. This is episode 170 and we are the official podcast of W2Net.com and of course in partnership with 41mania.com as well. I'm your host Sean Garmer and here with me, as always, Mr. Marc Morrison.
Howdy.
Well, Mark, anything going on with you?
Nope, playing a few games, that's about it.
So a game that I know kind of snuck up on me, because I kind of enjoyed the first one. Both of us had it at Hand of Fate 2. So is it more of the same thing, or did they change it any?
Well, I played Hand of Fate 1 on PC, and I'm playing this one on PS4. It's worse. Not gameplay. Like, the gameplay is still the same. Still kind of the same aspect of, card-based adventuring, and then, the Batman-esque combat. That's better, at least. Or at least it flows a little better. But, just technically, the game's kind of a mess. Transitions between cards, are, framey, and audio is crackly for a while, and I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, that was before they patched, and I think it wasn't just one, I think it was multiple patches that they had to do. I had that problem where I would play a level, or it would do the thing where you pick the card and then you have to go fight, and
yeah.
It would have no audio the entire fight. And I'm just like, and then it would randomly come back in later. It might come in mid fight. It might come in after the fight's over. Like when the narrator's supposed to come back on. I'm just like, what the hell? Yeah, it seems like they just never fix that.
They have, there was one patch, I think, and it did fix some of the crackling audio from the narrator, or, the dealer guy.
Yeah.
But, the transitions from the cards, yeah, it's just terrible. I'm kind of dumbfounded by it all. I'm like, holy shit, what's going on here? But, besides that, I'm actually tempted to ask for, a PC code, because, I am going to give this game a lower score based on the technical problems and, the actual gameplay, and that's not really fair to the game. It'd be nice to compare and contrast, but aside from that, it's more blown out. There are a lot more, not stages, there are more stages, but there's a lot more, variables. You have, a helper now in battle, which is nice. And there's a lot more quests and different, objectives to complete.
So there's an overworld map now, too?
Not really. It's just, the overworld map is basically, what adventure you're going to start off on. You have three quests, 3 levels, and then once you beat them, it opens up to 4 more levels, and then once you beat them, you get more access to more levels that are all based on, the Aquarius and Taurus and the lovers, all those astrology signs, but...
Okay. Is the combat any better than...
It's largely the same. It does feel a little better. It's not quite as basic, I would say. It feels a little more responsive, but it's still kind of largely the same, hit the enemies until they attack, and then you can counter them, and, stuff like that.
Yeah, I just it's really kind of disappointing to hear that the PS4 version has problems.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on Xbox One, but if it is, I assume it has the same issues.
An
So,
Xbox One version with Xbox One X support is also in the cards.
eh.
I just realized that I have a press release asking if I want a review copy for the game in my email that I
well,
dug through.
like an Xbox One X copy, like that might work fairly well, but like I'm
Yeah.
on a basic PS4 and
Well, so I'm gonna see if I can get you the PC copy here. He won't probably respond till Monday, but
sure.
we'll see.
But like it's a cool effect. Like when you go into a card, it looks like a kind of like a warp effect, but not going at like 8 frames a second. It's like eesh.
Yeah, it's incredible to me. They understood the problem the first time, they fixed it, and then they come with the second game and it has the problems that the first game had that they fixed.
Well, there's two things. First off, like in the first game, it was a lot more. You were like looking at the narrator for like most of that game.
Yeah,
And like the cards were all swirling about and doing like complicated patterns. That's gone, which that helps the performance actually a little bit because I think I saw a video of the first game.
Yeah, because you'd have to look at him. He would do the whole thing where he would
like have him fly around.
The cards.
Yeah,
like and that. It would start chugging there.
Yeah, like I don't see that at all. Like I think they just took that out, which is good. But what was I gonna say? Like it's just not a pleasant experience.
Yeah, well, hopefully, if a PC
it's still a good,
can be.
It's still a good game though. Like if you can kind of ignore that, then go for it.
So all the positives from the first game are still there.
Yeah, and if anything, like the additions of like your side character actually does help quite a bit. Like flesh it out just a tad.
Well, that's good. So, like, it's just an AI character that helps you in battle?
Yeah, like, I've unlocked 3 so far. One is, like, a ranged, like, magic user who can create, like, a magical shield around you, which is helpful. Another guy is, like, a melee fighter who can charge into battles, like, charge into enemies and knock them down. A third is another melee guy, or melee woman, actually, but I think she does something different. So... And then they each have like their own side quests, and once you complete them, they like level up and get different abilities.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always felt like it could use having an extra character or something to help you out. So that's good that they realized that.
Yeah, the first game was pretty brutal about like combat. Like they could get pretty punishing. The one noticeable difference I remember from the first game is, in this game, you can essentially camp at any spot, and at camp you can buy equipment and food.
Okay.
Like it's not infinite; like you'll run out eventually, but like that was a big requirement in the first game, or a big worry is you need to have enough food.
You had to like luck into.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like it's luck sometimes.
Oh no,
it feels
still
less like luck.
And there's still a lot of luck, and it's still like a lot about like how you construct like your decks, but like the actual nuts and bolts gameplay is a little more approachable.
Okay, so improvements aside from the graphical thing. That's good then.
Yep.
So you're also playing at Schoolgirls versus Zombies, if I got the name of the game right.
Schoolgirl versus Zombie or Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter, I think that's what it's called. I didn't buy it. Like saying that right from the start. I'm doing that for review. I'm reviewing that game because a friend of mine did buy it. He actually is a fan of those games, and he wanted someone to play it with. So I was like, all right, well, I can review it. If you want to get me PS Plus, you can do that. He was like, sure. And then he did it, and then that game doesn't have online co-op. It has.
Wow, that's weird.
It has online.
Local?
No, it has online co-op, but not for campaign. It has like a series of missions for online co-op, which are
Okay.
different than the main game for sure. So basically, Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter is a Onichimbara game. Like it's a bikini,
Okay.
teenage girl bikini clad, gun shooting zombies game. Like, so it's dumb, it's ugly, it has the production values of a PS2 game.
Yeah, when I saw the production values, I was like, yeah, not even. Huh.
The initial control scheme made absolutely no sense whatsoever. They defaulted X on like the PS4 controller to be zoom in on a rifle scope, and it's like, who would do this? Who in their right minds would do this? And like X, I forget what circle. I think circle was. I think evade. And like run and jump were on L2 and L1, and it's like, no, this is bad. So the two stories I'll talk about is the online is nuts because the zombies move incredibly fast. The game is full of lag, and me and my friend spent most of last night and
So the
today
zombies are fast and it lags. So I can
Yeah,
imagine that's a pain.
yeah, that's a nice double whammy. And like in the game, in the multiplayer, there are exploding zombies, like zombies that like run at you and they glow.
So
And when
suicide zombies.
well, they don't explode at you. Like once you shoot them, then they explode.
Oh. Okay.
And I think the goal, they aren't in the main game. They aren't in the single player at all. I think the idea is like you use those exploding zombies to like clear out the regular ones, which is a fine enough idea if the game didn't have lag.
So you'll shoot them and then you don't realize that they're closer to you than they actually are.
Yeah, and then they explode and take you down.
Wow.
Yesterday, me and my friend played it yesterday. We hit a level. It was an outdoor like rooftop, and we couldn't beat the level. This was like our fourth time playing or something, and like we were still on. Like we kept banging our heads against it, and eventually we discovered on the rooftop there were 3 benches, and like in the middle of the rooftop, and if you stood on the bench, the zombies couldn't attack us. They would jump at you, but they could not make the 2-foot, height of the bench to like grab you.
So you have fast zombies that really can't jump
Right.
much.
And like another level was, I think last night also, it was a big open field. And the levels are basically either, stay alive for 10 minutes or defend a base for 10 minutes. And this level was like stay alive for 10 minutes. And it was a big open, like it looked like a baseball field, but it was massive. And I basically stood behind a bench, and the zombies couldn't see me.
Wow. Well, zombies are dumb.
Yeah. And I stood there for 10 minutes, and then the clock, I completed the mission.
So are there different types of, so is it all female characters?
Oh, yeah.
Or...
I think there's 5 characters. They have different abilities. Like one can find hidden items. Like one is a better healer. One is more melee focused. You can press a button to like literally tear off your schoolgirl uniform to be in your underwear, and like you throw your uniform out, and it distracts the zombies for a few seconds.
So even the dead zombies can't resist.
But like the interesting thing is the single player is different. The zombies are slow, and they don't like run at you. They're barely a threat. And
so does it have like a difficulty level where maybe that changes it?
There is a hard level, like a hard missions. I didn't try them, but I imagine they might be faster. But without that lag, it'll probably be easier. And I had
so
one of those
lag even on the single player too.
No, I said without the lag. Like
okay.
I assume like if you can, if it's direct control and you can see what the hell's going on, it'll be fine.
So is the campaign have
It's
some
dumb.
kind of
Yeah,
I'm guessing the story's dumb.
yeah. He liked it. My friend, he played a few missions and he was like, "Yeah, I like this," and I'm like, "All right, go for
Hey,
it."
it's working for somebody.
I mean, he bought it for $40, so I'm not going to tell him I'm not going to tell him otherwise.
Yeah. Well.
But and one of the missions I played single player, I had 4 AI companions, like the 4 of the girls were with me, and the AI for 3 of them broke and they were frozen in place.
But the game kept going?
Yeah, like instead of all of them following me, only one was following me, and the other 3 were stuck in a bathroom. Which might have been a meta commentary for like girls' behavior in general, but I'm not gonna attest that much to the game.
I don't. Let's not go there, but that's funny. Oh gosh.
Hey, but yeah, it's a dumb game. It reminds me a lot of like Earth Defense Force or like a subpar, which is saying something, Dynasty Warriors game. Like
Jeez. That's all. Not Hunter of the Reckoning.
Yeah. And I bought Everybody's Golf.
Enjoying it?
Yeah. I actually never played Hot Shots Golf before, so this is my first one.
Yeah, I've heard that's the golf game like everybody seems to be liking, so.
Yeah, it's simple. I mean, it can be challenging, but it's like very cartoony and like not realistic. Like there are normal holes, there are what they call mega holes, which are bigger, and then there are tornado holes where like it sucks in the ball.
Oh wow!
It's like, all right, like it's not taking it too seriously, which is good because golf is boring as fuck. So
yeah, let's make it lighthearted so people don't get bored out of their mind with golf.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I played some Call of Duty World War II multiplayer. It's broken kind of, but it's multiplayer. So what do you like? You shoot guys and rank up.
At least the microtransactions are delayed right now. So
yeah, like there's one thing on they haven't what they call it an HQ, like their headquarters. It's supposed to be a social space, but they turned off other players. So you load into this thing and it's empty. And I have an objective my objective is commend a fellow soldier. And I'm like, I think you're supposed to do that. Yeah, it's like I think you're supposed to do that in HQ, but there's no one else around. Like I tried hitting buttons on like the victor win lose screen and nothing happened. I'm not where like I can't do it in a gameplay or in a round. Like right. What the hell am I supposed to do? But there's and in the HQ there's what they call a gunsmith. And he's supposed to I think he's supposed to sell you like paint skins and paint decal, like crap like that, and it just says coming soon or coming later.
So are you finding that you can just kind of camp out somewhere and shoot the spawning dudes, or?
Not really, because the spawns, there's no spawn zone really. Like there is in the beginning, but like once when it starts going, like the spawn zones move around, like where your squad really is, like where other players are. So like if there's like 2 or more players like in an area and you die, you'll likely spawn near where they are, which I mean can be good but can be bad because if they're getting slaughtered,
right?
It's like, uh-oh.
So do you find is it similar to all the other ones, or is it easier or harder? Or? I
mean, it's just the same. Like, they have crappier weapons. Kill streaks, weapon levels. They have a really labyrinthian unlock system where you have armor. Like, credits to like buy stuff with, like contracts and like little objectives to do and like missions. There are tokens to buy weapons with, and then there are loot crates to like outfit your guy with. And it's like, this is all complicated, and it didn't need to be.
Sounds like they just overdid it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as bad. I mean, we'll get into it, but it's not as bad as like Battlefront 2, but it's almost approaching that level.
We'll see when they start adding more stuff into it. I'm sure.
I mean,
Plus, you
yeah,
can't upgrade your social rank or whatever right now because of the HQ thing.
yeah, like that's the objective I'm stuck on because it's like I can't do that. I completed the other two, and it's like, all right, well, what do I do now?
I guess you're stuck with not anything right now until they fix that, which is weird because usually the breaks happen later, not like at the beginning with Call of Duty. But at least they know about it, and you'd think they're trying to fix it.
Apparently, you can like invite someone into your HQ, like if you have a friend or something,
Right.
playing the game, but no one else is playing it on my friends list, so I'm kind of screwed.
Well, I played Super Beat Sports some more. That doesn't change, just gets harder. And I got Pokemon Ultra Sun because I had a $15 out of all the points I've accumulated. I got $15 off on it, and I was like, oh, maybe it'll stick this time. So it adds 100 more Pokemon than the Sun version. All the legendaries are the same, and all the exclusives are the same. So if you bought Sun or Moon last year, you could technically buy the other one this year, get all the new stuff, and still trade in between, and you don't have to, go find somebody that has the other game. You could just have them yourself and trade the exclusives back and forth. They also add this wormhole that you can go into. There's requirements for them, but you can get legendaries from all the other games going in there. So that's kind of cool that they added that. That's the first time they've ever had that in a Pokemon game. And they add some different things to the story. The best part is they streamlined the beginning, which the beginning felt like it took forever on when I played Sun last year. Thank God I felt like it only took like 15 minutes to get my starter instead of like 5 hours. And it felt like a better. I kept wanting to play instead of being like, oh my God, how can I turn this off? So
That's
yeah,
how I feel about Twilight Princess and Zelda Twilight Princess.
it takes and Kingdom Hearts too.
Yeah.
Takes too long. But yeah, I mean it's Pokemon, and the good thing is that they streamlined it, and it gets you roaming faster and everything else. But I liked a lot of what Sun did last year. I know there's a lot of people that don't like the whole they took away the gyms and made it to where you have the thing with the Kahuna and the like the trials or whatever that you do. I know it sort of made the game like shorter in a way, but I think most people don't. I mean, I play it for the story, and I don't really do the breeding and all that other stuff. I kind of quit after you beat the Elite Four or whatever the equivalent is for Sun and Moon. But I know there's a lot of people that battle and do the end game stuff and all that. You're not really sitting there doing that for the story, so
Yeah.
it is what it is on that. But yeah, if you didn't get the game last year, I'd totally recommend getting it now. If you didn't get the other version last year, you can always use that as the excuse as well. We have two people that have Battlefront 2. Neither one. I mean, we're recording this really late. It's like 2:30 in the morning. So obviously, neither of the two people could be on because they well, one of them works right now, and the other one is, he's normal and he sleeps at this
Yeah,
hour. So yeah, so maybe I don't know next time
I
or
doubt
whatnot.
like that's not a game I particularly want to hear about.
Yeah,
So
I mean, plus, I mean, we probably from having to read about the controversy and the issues with the multiplayer, you've pretty much had to read about the game itself. So, and let's be honest, not a lot changes from last year other than adding the campaign, which
sounds
you know,
terrible.
yeah, which is built off of multiplayer maps, and they just added to where you can play with some of the heroes and the you have your own that main character that you control and stuff. But it's just yeah. So
I think you only control her for like 40% of that campaign.
yeah, most of it is her, but they let you play with some of the heroes just so that I guess it encourages you to want to unlock them in the multiplayer. Speaking of, I feel like we're really late to the party on this, so I'm sure if you listen, which I know I'm sure you listen to other things besides us or read everything else, you're probably tired about hearing about this by now. But yes, EA went through an entire just up and down with Battlefront 2 and their microtransactions, and if it costs too much to buy hero characters and all this stuff. Turns out, as you would expect, with The Last Jedi coming out pretty much a month from now, Bob Iger and people at Disney got on the phone and was like, "Hello, what is this about problems with this game and people wanting to cancel pre-orders? Let's do something about this." And perhaps Disney coming down might have been the reason that they just completely shut off the microtransactions, period, to where you cannot buy anything in the game. You have to unlock heroes and unlock everything else. The problem came that when the game first came out, to unlock heroes would have taken you 40 hours to unlock, like, say, Darth Vader, and even to unlock, let's say, like, to play 20 or 30 hours to unlock some of the lesser ones. Hell, you have to unlock the freaking character that you get in the campaign, which is stupid.
Yep.
But, it's EA.
Yeah, well, we talked about that a little last week, but the new thing was like they just turned off the pay to win credit or currency Friday.
Well, like, they tried so hard, supposedly, not to take away all the pay to win stuff, and then turns out when the game comes out, still pay to win, just in a
Well,
lesser form.
well, now it's more hidden. Like you can't buy the credits in the game. You have to go outside. You have to go like to the marketplace and like search for them.
Right.
Like that's the only thing. But yeah, the game just sounds like screwed up from like all directions. Like they tried to nickel and dime people to like a heightened degree. Like if you think about like Overwatch or even like Call of Duty, like you can't buy upgrades to your character
Yeah,
that are
like,
in that are in random boxes.
yeah,
you
and
can buy
everything's a loot box too, right? Like, so you unlock stuff, and then you have to get out of the game to get your loot box, open it, get your craft part that may have nothing to do with your character, and
yeah.
then, you know, I do wish we had somebody, one of the two guys on to talk about it just to get this fixed and feel like we're not hating, but it's
Well,
just.
I had a friend who bought it. I think he bought it Thursday, or like he bought it Friday. He beat the campaign and he took it back today.
They let him take it back?
Yeah. Well, he traded it in. He traded it in, but because he's like, I don't want to play multiplayer. Like I bought it for the story. The story's bad, and that was it.
Yeah, it seems to be like that the best Star Wars games, there's when they actually try to, outside of Lego that basically tries to, give you the movie experience in Lego form, is when they try to actually do their own story. That's when they're good.
Well, like I'd say the best Star Wars games, or like I said, I think last week, KOTOR, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Academy is okay. Republic Commando's fine. And then like stuff like X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter, but that's pretty old, but
Right.
there's still some reverence for that stuff. But it's not just retelling the goddamn story from the movies over and over.
Right, yeah. And that's what's sad about this. And then you just add this on with
Like,
EA, and it's like,
the really nuts thing is like how fast EA dropped this, and then also like you have to wonder about like the health of EA, because I think like another thing was like their stock price dropped yesterday by like 3%. And like this year has been terrible for them. Like Mass Effect, Need for Speed, their basketball game, like
Need
that's
for Speed's been on. It's been out for like what, a week and a half, and it was already on a half price sale.
Yeah,
Incredible
like
to me.
that game sounds more screwed up than Star Wars to an extent, because the single player is littered with those loot boxes. Like you can't, at least like this game, if you want to play the single player for like as bad as it is, you can. Like it's a fart in the wind, but you can still do it. Like you don't have to grind anything out. But in Need for Speed, you have to grind out, like I think they call them speed cards, to like upgrade your car to make it like viable and like leveled races. And it's like that's fucked. Like,
Yeah, I think
what's
I pretty
wrong
much
with you
want to stop
guys?
after that.
Yeah,
I
like they like that company like was founded like I mean look at the name, Electronic Arts. Like that should tell you something, but it's become such a business, or like nickel and diming people to death. Like,
Well, yeah, because they feel like they have to make money on these games past the $60 mark, and when you got FIFA making what it's making for you on the Ultimate Team and Madden as well, and
yeah, but not every game can support like the Ultimate Team or Madden Team or whatever. Like they think they can, but it's like no, that works because well, sports fans are idiots, but that also works because like there is some
there's a collectible aspect to it.
yeah, like the whole even like sports game, like sports cards to digital card. Like I mean, there is like that lineage there. There's no lineage with a fucking loot crate in Star Wars.
No, yeah, in fact, I think you'd probably want your kids to enjoy Star Wars and not have to deal with the loot crates, or even be tantalized to want to pay, because that's okay. The main problem with this whole entire thing that we haven't talked about is the progression system is so bad and so slow that it basically makes you get so pissed off that you want to spend money so you don't have to keep dealing with the progression system. And then, so they took that away, and now all you're left with is this progression system that they swear they're going to fix. The whoever at it doing that game that was in charge of the progression system vows to fix it. And I just don't know. Even if they do fix it, here's the problem. This is just like, what's that game that you and Daniel both liked that like nobody else did that came out last year? The indie game for Sony that had all the problems is in
No Man's
space.
Sky?
Yeah, No Man's Sky.
Nope.
Okay. So like it'll wind up like No Man's Sky and several other games that, because they had really bad press at the beginning, if you fix it, no one's gonna care after that.
Yeah.
And now we'll have to see. I know we've heard about the pre-orders going down, we'll have to see what the sales are for this, because there's been so many games that get the whole, oh, we're not buying it, we're not doing this, and they come out and they still sell
Yeah, this
ridiculous.
will sell. I mean, look at when it's coming out. It's coming out, 3 weeks before the new Star Wars film, so of course it's going to sell. Like no one's really going to care that it's a shitty game.
Well, plus we have to remember, right? Like, there's a lot of casuals that do not pay attention to this stuff, that have no idea about what the problem is and all that. And
I mean, you say that, but I think a lot of those people bought into the first Battlefield game, Battlefront, whatever the fuck it's called, and they got burned by that. Like, that game
right,
was
but
heavily
part of that was
flawed.
also because the season pass thing and all that, not necessarily because of the loot boxes and
No,
whatever.
but
So
I mean, if the first game leaves a bitter taste in people's mouths, and they buy the second one and leaves a much more bitter taste, they're going to buy the third one at all. Like, no matter what EA says.
oh yeah, I mean, it's gonna affect them when they make the third one. It's we'll see how they go about that, but that's the problem. Is this progression system inherently is bad, and then you tack on all this stuff. Like you said, the worst part is that shows that all they care about is making money, and they didn't have a direction for this at all. Is how quickly they went down 75% on how much it cost for the heroes, and then they
Yeah,
kept changing it, and then they put a cap on how much you could pay arcade mode, and now they're going to take that away because they want to give you all these different ways to make sure you get credits and all this stuff. If you actually had a direction and you had mapped this out where you say it's fair, you wouldn't be dropping the credit number, because you would say, okay, we have a point to this. We're giving you 20,000 when you beat the campaign. Well, now you're going to have to lower the amount you get when you beat the campaign because you lowered the amount for the heroes or whatever.
yeah.
It's just, it feels more like somebody got in a room and said, okay, let's put it at the highest we possibly can, and then if somebody complains, we'll just lower it.
There's some quote I think Kotaku said that, like, I think it was like Disney, or not Disney, EA originally wanted to make a basically Overwatch style game. Like, all the cosmetics were in loot boxes and that was it. But Disney, like, shut them down. And it's like, that might be valid, like, on its face, but look at how bad EA has done other games. Like, there's no way that you can take that with any type of grain of salt, because it's like, they did that with Madden, they did that with FIFA, they tried to do that with, like, Dead Space 3, like, Mass Effect had it. It's like, you guys nickel and dime people to death.
Yeah,
Like, go
Mass
fuck
Effect 3 was
yourselves.
the first one that really have it, right?
Yeah, and even, like, Andromeda still has it. No one cares, but Andromeda has it. Like, I got an email like 3 months ago saying, like, join the fight in Mass Effect Andromeda, and I'm like, you guys are kidding, right? Like, go screw yourselves.
No. But no, seriously, it's amazing to me how this is blown up, and EA is now sitting there trying to put the blame on somebody else, and now they're trying to say, oh, we're gonna fix it, we're gonna do this, we're temporarily taking away the microtransactions so that people, basically, so that once this blows over, they'll just put them back in, and people will stop talking about it.
Well, it's like the website Giant Bomb has a annual Game of the Year category where the title is Hottest Mess, like the biggest disaster of the gaming year. And this is a contender, like, for
Oh,
sure.
I'm sure it'll be.
And
It's
it's like it should be. Like, this is the only other analogy you can draw to this is like Microsoft backing down from the Xbox One, like all the Kinect stuff, or
right.
the online DRM stuff. Like, how quickly they buckled for that. It's the same exact thing with this thing.
Yeah, because and the only reason they did is because they saw all the pre-order cancellations started coming.
Yeah,
Because they have to secretly not let anybody in the retail space know that if you pre-order the game, you can play it early. So people started realizing this, just like they did when the beta hit, that, oh, there's problems here. Oh, everything's towards the loot boxes. Okay, no, I don't want this game. And they cancel the pre-order, and you get enough of those cancellations, and they go, oh, whoops, we better do something here.
Yep.
And just...
Well, I don't have to play it, and I never will. So.
Yep.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'll never play it, and I have no if I got it, I might try it, but I'm not gonna seek it out by any means. Like I don't care about it. Star Wars to begin with, really.
Free or something.
Yeah, even then, maybe not. Probably not.
So, Nintendo found out that once again the Switch is the number one selling console for. Is this October? Yes,
yeah.
For October. And they themselves, well, also Super NES Classic is also the second best-selling console, so they get the double shot again, just like in September. Nintendo is reporting Super Mario Odyssey is the number one selling game if you include digital sales. MPD doesn't really include digital sales. It's like up and down because they take them on some games and some games they don't, depending on the publisher. So according to MPD, Middle-earth Shadow of War is number one, Assassin's Creed Origins number two, Super Mario Odyssey after that, South Park, NBA, FIFA, WWE shows up on here, number 7, Madden, Destiny 2, and Forza Motorsport 7 is 10th. So, Wolfenstein 2 hopefully will gain some ground when you get November, but...
That and Evil Within 2. Yeesh.
They had them come too close. Like, you cannot possibly come out with Super Mario Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Origins 2 much more well-known. I know Wolfenstein's been around a long, long time, but Super Mario Odyssey and Assassin's Creed have much more cachet with people right now. And you come out the same day, you're going to take a hit. You know, and Evil Within comes out 2 weeks before that. It's gonna take a hit.
Yeah, but I think it'll pick up for Christmas and for the future.
Yeah, if for some reason you're living under a rock and you don't know right now, Sony and Microsoft both have Black Friday sales going on, and you have a lot of these big games for anywhere from $30 to $40. So if you're looking for Christmas gifts or whatnot,
they just have to introduce Sony like PS4 gift getting like Xbox just did.
Or you could always just get them the gift card to the Xbox or PS4 store.
Yeah, but that's just
buy what you want.
That's just an extra annoying step.
Oh yeah, it is. The gifting thing is much easier, but yeah, at least this way you don't do the whole I got you the wrong game and then you gotta go through that mess again.
Yeah.
Nintendo is also officially making an animated. I mean, I feel like we've talked about it, but Nintendo is officially signed a deal with Illumination Studios. They're the people who make Despicable Me and the Minions Sing, which I really enjoyed Sing. Despicable Me they're good. I've never been like that into them, but they serve their purpose. So, very good studio credibility standpoint for Mario to make it step back into the movies. And they've apparently been talking for a year. Miyamoto is going to be involved and be a producer on the film. Another good step. Obviously, being animated or CG helps us a lot in that, they can take bigger risks and whatnot. But do you put it in a different category because of that? As in, it's still not a live action film. So does that matter for you? As far as
No,
being a very good, as far as being a good video game movie, or
no, because I'm honestly like, I would say CGI or cartoons would work better, but the only one that has been good has been Castlevania. Like the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children's a terrible movie.
yeah.
The Resident Evil CGI films are terrible also. Like, I think it could work. I just have to get the right people to do it. And they have to figure out a way to like resurrect Bob Hoskins to be the voice.
Yeah, and I don't think John Leguizamo is attached to the
No,
sequel,
I mean,
so.
it'd be nice if like they got Charles Martinet to do it, but like Hollywood will try to get it like some actually like well-known voice actor or well-known actor to do it. Like we got Brad Pitt to be Mario. It's like please don't.
God, please no. That would just take.
Like we got Angelina Jolie to be Princess Peach. It's like great. Another reason not to go watch it. Thank you.
Nope, not happening. Not gonna do it.
But as long as they're like, they just have to tell a good story. Like that's the important thing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting with Odyssey just having come out. Would they actually have like a Nintendo or a Super Mario like movie game that also comes out with this to kind of flesh the story out more?
Oh, I doubt that. I don't think Nintendo cares much about that at all.
Well, they could even do it for like mobile or something. It wouldn't have to be for Switch or even 3DS, I guess, if that's still around and whenever
but they can't
going to come out.
They can't bilk people if they just made a movie tie-in game.
Yeah, I mean, if they say it's like kind of help to tell the story more, I mean, first of all, you have to know what the story is, but I give a lot of credence to the studio that's behind it. Those guys know what they're doing. So I would hope that this turns out good and it can start out something for Nintendo, because I really would love to see a Metroid, and I mean they can do Zelda right,
Don't worry, Netflix is still going to do that Zelda series.
I wonder if this does well if Netflix starts trying to. So like, hey, can you give us some? We're losing Disney and Marvel. Can you give us some properties here, Nintendo?
I think, honestly, I think Castlevania worked only because it was a new take on the source material and franchise.
Right.
If they had tried to do like a literal, Castlevania 1, telling, it'd be awful.
Oh no, that would not have been good. That's why I think it's actually a pretty decent anime, is because of that. Like you just said, it deviates from what you know, so you can buy into it more.
Yeah, but it's still respectful of the material. Like that's what a lot of films live adaptations fail to do completely. Like I saw
Nintendo will learn.
I saw a tweet recently that was like, what's his name? Oh, what is his name? Paul Anderson, Paul W.S. Anderson. It was like his video game movies are better than like the other ones, like contemporaries. And I'm like, yeah, that's still, he's made one good video game.
Much.
Yeah, it's like his one good video game movie, Mortal Kombat from fucking 25 years ago. I mean, he's been responsible for 8 others that have been shit. So it's like, what do you want?
After like Apocalypse, I don't even look at the Resident Evil movies as like part of that series, because they just go way off the reservation after 2. So,
I'm sure his Monster Hunter game is going to be real aces.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait for him to cast his wife in that one again. She is not a good actress.
I feel like I liked her in like Ultraviolet,
No,
and
oh
she
god.
was. There was people that were better than her. I mean, she's a bit part in Fifth Element, but you know.
Yeah.
So
She can be good, or she can be okay, but you wouldn't call
just
her like
not
a
with her
master
husband
thespian.
directing her.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like you wouldn't call her a master thespian by any means. And then yeah,
certainly not. Uh, you also the GameStop rental program that we had just talked about the week before. It's already been suspended because somebody apparently didn't check their computer system. It's
that's the rumor anyway, that their computers are too old to like handle the
But
rental
like, hold
program.
on. How would you not QA this, right? Like, how would you not go in the store and make sure that you can actually make this work before you roll it out?
Because it's
It's
GameStop and they're desperate.
no, I totally get that point, and there were people that actually got it, and they're giving a refund. They're giving them a used game for free of their choice, which I think that's nice. But it's like this just seems like a total oversight. Like, how do you not know that it works first on the equipment that you have before you just roll it out? I mean, everybody has the same equipment, right? So this is silly. But I mean, it's hurting. This is in the holiday season where you could have really gotten subscriptions to this.
Yep.
So
Instead of rolling out in February or March or whenever they're going to do it for real.
I think with by the time you get to February, March, when you get the income tax stuff rolling back in, you might get a boost there. But yeah, this would have been the time to do it. Just do testing, GameStop. That might actually help you. You know,
But that takes time.
stuff
It's
that
much easier.
they.
It's much easier to just half-heartedly announce something and then cancel it and figure out they can't do it.
Well, speaking of time, a game that's been around for years on PC just recently showed up on consoles and has now been shut down by Disney. Marvel Heroes.
Yep, bummer for me.
Yeah, I know how much you enjoyed that game.
It
The
reaffirmed my belief to never put money into a free-to-play game.
Yeah, I mean, does that really make you feel like you can't have an MMO without it having some kind of monthly sub then? Because
Well, like the only MMO that's like still has a monthly sub, like realistically, are Final Fantasy 14, which I'll never play, and World of Warcraft.
right.
I think every other MMO is shifted to free to play, and like they aren't shutting down as quickly, but there's you still see some MMO shutting down here and there.
Yeah,
But
it's sad that they just put this on console and here you go, it's shutting down.
yeah, I saw a story about like some people are trying to get refunds for it. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that.
That's not happening, folks. Keep dreaming.
Yeah, there is some allegation. Well, there's a few reasons this is shutting down. The CEO of Gazillion, like the company that made it, I guess there are rumors that he like sexually abused someone like a few years ago.
Jeez.
And it's like, yeah, I could see Disney not wanting to have any contact with that type of person.
Pretty sure they don't.
There was an update to Marvel Heroes on PC, I think a year ago, that like dramatically simplified the game and like ticked a lot of people off. Like I thought it was fine, but like really simplified everything about it, and like the user base just got decimated. Like,
Doesn't this happen with all MMOs at some point though? Like that's been the complaint for WoW for like a long time, and all this where because they need more people to be playing, they want to make it as easy as possible for people to get in.
I mean, the thing about WoW is they still have at least 5 million people playing, and those people pony up $15 a month, So that helps generate income. Like, if only 400 people are playing your game, like, every day, and, let's just say 40 of them buy something, it's like, who cares? Like, that's not enough for, like, an investment.
Right.
But also, if you think about, like, Path of Exile, like, that's a, online Diablo-style game, just like Marvel Heroes. But Path of Exile is complicated as fuck. And that has, right now, 8,000 people playing it. So I think people like complicated games.
Probably it's also that feeling of, like, you're part of a exclusive club or whatever. Not everybody can get in.
Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah, the total amount of people playing Marvel Heroes today was 568.
I'm sure that will just keep dwindling with the announcement as well. So
I don't know. They actually they took out the online, like, money store, and they just put everything to, like, the lowest amount they can, which is, I think, 50 credits, and they just started giving free money away to everyone. So, like, the first day I bought every character I didn't own, and I'm just buying, like, random costumes and stupid shit now.
well, that's nice. Just at least
They
let
did.
you enjoy the game for the last bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's shutting down December 31st, so it's a month and a half away. They did that with PS4 also, but they can't do it with Xbox One because of Microsoft.
Well, Microsoft
Yeah, like,
screws you again.
I'm looking at, like, Steam charts, like, for Marvel Heroes, and, like, they had 1,000 people playing, like, 1,500 people playing it in July, 800 playing it in August, 900 in September. It's like, these are not high enough numbers for people to keep playing this thing.
No, it's not. But I'm sure it's the other negative stuff that you talked about might have been what might have just been the straw. Like Disney just, all right, we're not supporting this.
Apparently, also, like, they were working on. There was 2 other characters that were, like, in plans, like Spider-Woman and, like, a different version of Thor. And they announced them, but they never released them. And they were supposed to, like, release, like, a new patch to, like, make it more like the console version, which didn't get off the ground. And so it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a shame, but what do you expect?
Yeah, is a free-to-play MMO, and Disney's been very particular about what they want their game franchises to be doing. So,
I mean, I guess with the closure of this, I would like to see another Ultimate Alliance, but I don't think that's going to happen.
That would be so nice if they did. I really like those games, but yeah, probably not.
Actually,
I think for one, some of these ones that they're having get made right now, like the Avengers game, those would have to be successful, I think, first before we see anything like that.
Well, actually, the past week I did try Marvel Puzzle Heroes, like their Bejeweled clone that's free to play, and within, I don't know, an hour, I hit, like, the pay to win wall so hard that I uninstalled it. It's terrible.
Wait, so it just told you, please buy.
Well, it's like this is a level 30 character. All your characters are level 15 or below. You can buy it like a higher level character if you want to. It's like, no, I'm good, thanks. I can just uninstall this and never play it again.
So you can't level up the character to 30?
You can if you grind it out, and then they get injured and you have to heal them, and the health packs from the timer.
Oh, God, yeah, that sounds like torture, basically.
And this is not on mobile. This is on Steam. Like, I played the PC version, and it was like this. I'm like, fuck this. Oh, also, for Marvel Puzzle Quest, you unlock random heroes. You can't just say, I want to buy Cyclops, or I want to buy Iron Man. You click, like, I want to buy a hero.
Well, yeah, because if they let you buy the one you wanted, you probably play the game less.
I'd play it more, because at least I, care. I wouldn't have fucking, Wolverine in my party, or, a Human Torch. I have like good characters.
Well, you know, I but that's probably why I think it's just because if they let you buy the one you wanted, you'd only get that one character, and then when you got tired of playing, you may just never, come back or whatever. I mean, most people have more than one character that they really like, but it's just, yeah, I don't know. How they do all this stuff is just, it's crazy to me. But
Well, I'll never play it again. So
hey, at least you got to test it out and see what it was like, though.
I wanted to try yet another game that's going to fall away soon.
The Xbox avatars are delayed until 2018, which I like my Xbox avatar thing. I would like to see it come back. It's mainly they're just being more inclusive with it. There's complaints about like, hey, I'm in a wheelchair. Why can't I have my avatar be in a wheelchair? I have, for to have like gender neutral clothing, all that kind of stuff. I think that's kind of cool. It doesn't cost you anything, and I liked it on the 360 to have my little avatar there, and I actually bought some clothes for him at one point when it's first coming out. So
The only two things I'll say about avatars is the first thing is it's bizarre. It like the Xbox One didn't launch with them. It's like like you had a good system, or you had a decent
the
system.
Xbox One didn't launch with a lot of stuff, and they had to patch it in later. Remember?
Yeah, but even now, like avatars like are kind of there, but not really.
I think they were testing to see if people actually wanted them, and then they kept asking in surveys and stuff like that to the preview program people if you really wanted them, and they kept saying yes. So they said, okay, well, we're actually gonna try to put them in.
And the second thing I'll mention is the thing I liked about the avatars was some games you had like the avatar awards,
Right?
where you could like unlock stuff for your avatar in game, and that was cool. Like they should like make that a requirement. Like it doesn't have to be deep or anything. Like if you beat the game, you get a shirt or like a hat or something, but have it mean something.
Oh yeah, I like that too. Like Rock Band, you get clothes. There was other.
I think
you'd get a hat or something.
Red Dead Redemption was like a big game that had that stuff in it, and I remember that.
Like some of the Assassin's Creeds, you could get stuff as well. It was a nice incentive. Like I have sports team stuff on my avatar, but yeah, it was good that they kept adding more things to it, and it had a pretty sizable amount of like attire at one point on the 360. So it was working for them. It was a way for them to make a few dollars here and there. They've
now,
also go ahead.
Now, like Sony has their avatar system, which no one ever uses.
The picture.
Yeah, I can't believe they want people to buy that too.
Oh yeah, I've seen them a lot now. Like in that sale.
Yeah,
that's up there now. They have like a whole section of just, hey, you can buy this avatar, this avatar. It's like, okay, we're going back to like message board avatars where it's like the one picture. It's like, no, I'll just wait till when I buy a game and they give me one for free, and that's the one I'll use, like for Final Fantasy IX. So, yeah, not paying for that, but yeah, they've also delayed the super duper graphics pack for Minecraft till later next year. That kind of
looked nice,
like it was going to happen.
Yeah, like I saw a picture and it looked better, but I still don't want to play Minecraft ever.
But didn't you get Minecraft in that Humble Bundle thing that you?
No.
Okay.
That was Starbound.
Oh, okay.
No, I got Minecraft, the Telltale game. Sorry.
Oh. Okay, yeah, that's different. So did you get the whole 8?
Yeah.
Chapters.
Season,
okay.
Yeah, whatever the fuck they called it. Yeah, the season Season 1.
Oh, the season 1. Okay, yeah. I liked that for part of it. It kind of got boring towards the end, but it sort of made me want to play Minecraft, so I guess it accomplished something.
Yeah.
The Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer is finally out. I felt like we've talked about this like 3 or 4 different times. It does let you group up with players so you can do missions and stuff and hunt down monsters. And you create your own character too, which I think is the big draw to it. I've seen a lot of people really like that, and they are going to add in where you can play with the main characters, including Noctis, who is going to be in Tekken 7 now.
Yep.
Okay, we're just whoring Noctis out everywhere. Square. I know that you want this to be the next like tentpole, and you're doing that with adding all the DLC now and all that stuff. But it's just eventually you're gonna make a Final Fantasy 16, and that's not gonna have Noctis in it. But I guess
Unless
they
it
did that with
does.
Lightning too. So
Yeah, it'll be 15 too.
yeah, I don't know where they would have to introduce new characters at that point because they've done everything with those guys. I mean, I don't know where you can go unless they're just going to add a whole new story with them. So it's not going to make sense, but
Yep.
I guess we've seen worse, right? They could bring his dad back from the dead or something. Who knows?
That'll be the prequel that no one wanted.
Yes. Forget the movie. We'll make you a prequel game now too. IO actually finally talked about the deal that they got with Square Enix, where they basically split the rights to franchises. They got Hitman and Freedom Fighters, and Square Enix kept Mini Ninjas and Kane and Lynch. I feel like IO won out of this deal.
What are you talking about, man? You know Square is going to make like a Mini Ninjas like trilogy now?
I liked Mini Ninjas. There was nothing wrong with that game at all. I never played the Kane and Lynch games, but
yeah, they're going to port Kane and Lynch into Final Fantasy 15.
oh God, please don't say that. It could happen. I could totally see them doing some kind of Kane and Lynch remaster.
No one cares about those games.
I've been surprised sometimes at some of the things that get remastered. Like I thought we'd never get those dot hack ones, and that's just part of the trilogy. That's not even the whole thing.
The only reason people like know about Kane and Lynch is because it got like Jeff Gerstmann fired.
Yeah. Wait, what happened with
it? I mean, that was
when
he reviewed. Yeah, that was 2007 when he gave like Kane and Lynch like a bad score, and they were like advertising on GameSpot at the time. So it's like, you can go.
Well, that's shitty. Like, aren't you supposed to be independent of whatever you're advertising?
New management team that like they didn't know how to stand up to like advertisers.
Stupid.
And like they quote, I think he said like he talked about this a few times. But he said like they had a problem with his tone, and like for other games that were reviewed, and he was like, I didn't review those games.
Oh, wow. You can't even look at the byline before you accuse him of... That's sad, man. I'm excited for Radiant Historia Remaster coming. I really like this game on the DS, so I will be looking to pick this up on 3DS when it comes out. Of course, it's going to be $40, but I'm glad that you're getting additional story stuff and whatnot.
I never played them.
Yeah, I was going
Nope.
to say, I don't think you've ever owned one of those, so... But, yeah, definitely one of the better RPGs that came out for that Nintendo system. So, yay! Glad that's happening. Thank you, Atlas, for for doing things like that. They're pretty good about that. And Kickstarter is launching a Patreon system called Drip. That was at one point supposed to be for a music label, and because they was going to get taken down, Kickstarter decided that they're going to do it. It's invite only right now, but eventually it'll be available to everybody else. And I go, if you're going to do something like this, why not just join Patreon? But
because they can't get money from Patreon.
probably, I mean, I think this is fine. Like, it might actually help in make sure that your product gets made, I guess, if you're got all these people subscribing, right?
Sure. I think it's like it might be bad, but I just think about like something like Star Citizen.
Yeah, or the that Eternal Darkness one that like never
Yeah,
got made.
Shadow the Eternal or whatever it's called. Yeah, that flamed out. Or like that Unsung Story, like the Final Fantasy Tactics thing.
Or even Mighty Number 9, which did come out, but it wound up being not very good and just. But then you do have, you know, a Shovel Knight that's been very successful, and
yeah, like FTL or Shadow Run Returns, or even like the Double Fine stuff. I mean, there are successful Kickstarter games and stories out there, but there's also a lot of misfires and like tragedy.
Well, hopefully this puts things in the right direction for Kickstarter. If that's the case, who knows when we'll hear about Shenmue 3, but
Never.
that's still out there. Multiple Man might get a movie. Of course, James Franco could be the lead as Maddox, and I know you were excited about this.
Yeah, I like the character. He's a pretty like self-deprecating like character, or like sarcastic character. He was in a book called X Factor for a while. It ended like years ago, but like his incarnation was he ran like a detective agency. Like, there were and everyone was like a mutant, and it was like the like C-list mutants. So, but they were a good team, and they had like good like personality. So it'd be nice if they introduced that in like the second one.
Hey, that's lots of stuff with the mutants coming out.
I view this as like a kind of like a Deadpool type of thing,
Yeah, I mean, but don't you already have Deadpool?
No, I mean, yeah, but it wouldn't be Deadpool. But I mean, like not taking it quite so seriously, like the X-Men films do, or like most Marvel movies.
Oh, okay. That's fine then. Hey, as long as it gets made and people are happy about it.
Yep.
The spin-off movie for Spider-Man, Morbius.
Yeah.
Sony, just stop. Why?
Because they have run out of ideas. I think their Venom movie is going to be a huge disaster.
Oh yeah. When even hasn't the creator even come out and said he's not really happy about them doing this, and he doesn't
I wouldn't
want anything
surprise
to do
me.
with it either. Like okay, just look. I get it. Like Sony wants to make money on that property, and all well and good to them, but yeah, some things just don't need to be done.
Yeah, especially like for Morbius. Like, talk about like the most D-list character you can think of. Like, I
who
want.
thought of this in the room? I just.
Well, they thought, hey, vampires are cool, or they were at one point. So hey, we have a faux vampire we can use.
It's
I
been
mean,
like what, almost 10 years since Twilight.
if they're going to do a Morbius movie, I want them to do a blaxploitation version of the Hypno Hustler. Like, that's a movie I'd get behind.
Hey, they're bringing back Shaft. Why not?
Yeah.
It could work.
Make it make
T.
it a, make
Go
like a
ahead.
three make like a movie trilogy based around Stiltman.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they, like Sony just says, we're making our own Spider-Man universe or whatever. They
Well,
start
they have the Venom movie. I think that's like filming right now.
right.
They have this thing. They announced a Silver Sable Black Cat movie, and they keep threatening to make like a Sinister Six movie. So that is at least 3 Spider-Man spin-off films that aren't connected to Spider-Man at all.
Well, can't blame them for trying. I guess they want to make money off that investment and want to show that they don't have to sell it back to Marvel or something.
Yeah.
And then, THQ has bought Biomutant developer
Yep.
Experiment 101 so that they can add Biomutant to their portfolio of games and make it one of their tentpoles, apparently. There's gameplay of this game out there, which actually looks pretty decent. We'll just have to see if what they make out of this.
Yeah, if it comes together or not.
Yeah, because there's so many times that we hear about studios bought this, and then 5 years later, oh, that's still there. Nobody's
Yeah.
making a game with it, but hey, we bought it. Awesome. As we'll see how long it takes Titanfall 3 to come out for EA with all with all this stuff. And finally, a Danger Girl movie is in the works. Constantine film, which I think they're the ones that made the. Oh, why can't I think of the name right now? They
Resident
made the
Evil.
Resident Evil movies, but they also made the uh, Constantine, the
Oh,
films, which I actually like the first one.
they only made one.
Well, they were gonna make weren't they gonna make a second one at one point, and it just didn't happen. I don't blame Keanu Reeves. He got hit with John Wick and just kept doing. Cool that they're making this. I feel like Atomic Blonde was supposed to be the female James Bond thing, and now we have this too. So
It was until it bombed.
yeah. So we gotta
Like
keep
this
making it.
just makes me think of like Aeon Flux. Like, all right, I mean, you can try to make a movie, but I don't think anyone's gonna care.
Which ironically, both of those also had Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
She's a very good actress. Just didn't win
I,
with
well,
those.
I didn't watch it. Apparently, Atomic Blonde's good. I just don't think people saw it. I mean, it didn't play around here. I know that. I probably would have seen it if it did.
I didn't think Aeon Flux was like
No, that's
awful or anything.
That's bad. Like,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just not connected to the comics and all that, so I didn't.
well,
Look at
no,
it from
Aeon Flux was a TV show.
Or was it? I thought it had
Yeah.
some kind of reading material connected to it as well, though.
I can look it up, but I don't think so. No, cartoon show.
While you're doing that,
they made a comic eventually, but
didn't they also do a new cartoon show after the movie came out too? They're
no.
on MTV.
Nope.
I swear. Okay. So yeah, they were light on games this week because we're starting to head to the end of the road. I think seriously, Xenoblade is like the last vestige of big games, and then that's it. You might as well start the game of the year, getting that stuff together right now.
The only thing I saw, which is dumb that I ever considered buying it, is they released a Kinsey voice like character for Agents of Mayhem.
Oh, really? Oh, because they're just now starting to get the Saints Row
Yeah,
stuff,
and
they
it's
want
like,
it's too late.
this would have been nice 6 months ago. Like, I mean, for me, it might be a reason to buy that game. Like, if I had the money, like, if it's at a Redbox for $5, and I'm like, I'd buy it at that price, but I'm not going to pay 30 or 40 for it.
So the games that are coming: Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, which is a remaster of the DS game. Tiny Metal, which is an indie game. It's a military turn-based tactics mini game or indie game
Yeah,
that's coming to all the consoles.
That's like an Advanced Wars spiritual sequel, I think, or successor.
Advance Wars. I might check it out then. I miss me some
Well,
Advance
I
Wars.
mean, people like Fire Emblem more, but people are also idiots.
You can have both. Come on, Nintendo. It's such a lame excuse.
Nintendo should have just put like a fat tank in one of the Smash Brothers games.
The Azure Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack, I think retail version is finally coming out. Stick It to the Man for the Switch, which that's kind of late, but hey, we got a lot of old ports coming on the Switch all the time. The Inpatient for PS4, that's like, I guess, the big game, sort of. Planet of the Apes, The Last Frontier. Monster of the Deep, Final Fantasy 15. I would want to play that if I had a PSVR because I like the fishing in that game. And World of Final Fantasy coming to PC. So.
Yeah, I looked at like the new release list and I was like, great, Mantis Burn Racing is coming to the Switch. Can't wait.
You reviewed that game, didn't
No, I think I tried and I was like, this is terrible.
you?
I'm
You're like,
I'm good.
no. I'm not doing it. Just not.
And the week after, we're getting the new hits of Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 for the Switch, and Siberia 2. It's like,
Oh, yeah,
great.
because they already got Siberia 1.
Yep. Gotta get people caught up until they release Siberia 3.
Oh, wait, you got Steep Road to the Olympics coming December 5th, so, everybody's going to be wanting to play that. Are you going to get this Bethesda pinball?
No.
I mean,
Well, it's already out. It's been out for a while on like PC and everything, but I just don't like pinball effects tables.
well, that's no good. Well, hold on. Didn't you have tables for the second one?
Yeah, but I bought that in like a bundle, so I didn't.
Oh, okay.
It was like spend $6 and get 40 tables. I'm like, I guess I'll do that.
Like, yeah, if it's $6, why not? So, yeah, you have some things like Hello Neighbors finally coming, and all that.
Yeah,
Okami HD comes out after December 12th.
that I'll buy, or I'll try to get a review copy somehow.
Yeah, it's only $20, so it's not too bad.
That's a long game too.
Hey, it's well worth it for that price. Not like putting Doom on the Switch for $60. Like, you gotta be kidding me! Come on. And like Skyrim too. Like, really? That game's 6 years old. Like, what is wrong with you guys? The sad thing is people will pay for it.
Yep, they're still releasing an EverQuest expansion.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Hey y'all, people are still playing EverQuest.
Y'all are still playing it, and Teslagrad is coming to the Switch. Geez, some of these indies. Alright, so that is going to do it for us this week. We'll be back probably around the same day or so next week. And yeah, enjoy the games that are coming out. If you're the one playing Battlefront 2 and you want to disagree about our thoughts on the game, hit Mark up at Humanity Plague, at WTimSean for me. Visit at WTimNet.com. And we'll see you later, everybody.
Later.
The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.